Federal immigration raids could start hitting New Orleans as soon as December 1st, but right now ICE is focused on North Carolina. Joining us now is Tori Shepherd, an attorney with the Carolina Migrant Network, to explain what's happening on the ground and how communities are protecting families. Tori, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
So, Tori, tell us, what you're hearing from people there in that area, because one of the things that stunned me here is so many restaurants and businesses closed down in anticipation of these raids or after these raids happen. Tell us what you're hearing from folks there.
Yeah, it's been a very difficult 5 days here for the greater Charlotte population, and then of course more specifically for our immigrant population. This is a community that's been under attack from agents of terror for the last 5 days, committing unchecked acts of violence and aggression and property destruction against U.S. citizens and non-citizens alike. So the atmosphere in Charlotte right now is one of great fear and terror, as was intended by this assault. And as you've said, as a result, in many of our heavily immigrant populated corridors and areas, has resulted in, areas that used to be very vibrant, active, are now dead, that businesses are closed. People are afraid to go shopping, to go to any kind of store, to go to school, to go to work. So it's people have had to hide away from the unchecked violence here.
I should say the Secretary of Homeland Security said that these were carried out based on advanced investigation and casework. Do you indeed feel that ICE have been targeting people with criminal backgrounds and indeed violent offenders here? What are you hearing from folks there?
Very plainly, no. As with all of the rhetoric espoused by this administration and by DHS in particular, that kind of racist fear-mongering is just not borne out by the numbers and by the people that we're talking to who are taken into custody. I will also just say initially that the criminal or non-criminal distinction that people are trying to draw here is in itself a false flag of sorts. That the criminal legal system in this country, as a modern day evolution of Jim Crow and slavery, is far too racist and far too unequally enforced to provide any kind of accurate metric for who is committing harm in this country. But even if we set that aside, we are seeing, and this is documented by witnesses to these patrols, that people, that is just indiscriminate racial profiling, that they are stalking people through neighborhoods, randomly pulling over at shopping centers and restaurants, not even asking for identification, not trying to determine identities of people that they are kidnapping. So that's certainly not the reality on the ground.
As part of the Carolina Migrant Network, what is your role in helping this community through this situation here?
So our organization, Carolina Migrant Network, we provide legal services to people who are in ICE detention and in removal proceedings. We also have an organizing team that has for years been in charge of managing the Community Defense Hotline, which enables people to call in and report sightings of ICE or CBP, any kind of DHS officials. We have a team of trained verifiers who can then go out to the sites to try to confirm what's going on there, to witness and document. And then we share that information with the greater community so that they can use that to try to decide what kind of precautions they have to take and to try to keep themselves safe. So right now we're in a rapid response phase, and we're just trying to get as much information out as possible, and also trying to connect with attorneys across the state to hopefully be able to get people connected to pro bono lawyers.
Yeah, 200 people have been detained by ICE in Charlotte, and then they moved over to Raleigh. We'll see what the numbers are there. Tori Shepherd with the Carolina Migrant Network, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.